I even at one point was on the waiting list for 2 years for a new procedure called Assessa, where, if I understand correctly, they kind of send electrode nodes into the center of the fibroids, and it kind of does like an ablation from the inside out, and then the fibroids will just shrink on their own. So I was on the waiting list for about 2 years to have this surgery. There's only one doctor in Canada that does it. They do it multiple places in the United States, but Canada, it is covered by OHIP, or by our healthcare. So I would be able to do this without spending, I believe it's $30,000 in the States to have this procedure. So when the date actually came for the surgery, this was last year around March. I already booked my ticket because I'm in Ontario. This was in Saskatchewan. They said that they had to cancel it because some sort of equipment had to be renewed, and it was coming from the States, and it hadn't been approved by Canadian government yet. So they were saying hopefully in the fall that I would be able to do it, but they're not actually sure when it would be approved. So I'm back on that waiting list again. And so pretty much a year goes by again, and I'm still, working to try to heal this myself. So when I was speaking to this woman and she brought up having the surgery, I really felt that it was time for me to say yes to it. And I was kind of going through a lot of different feelings about it, because as a spiritual person, I just felt so guilty and so shamed that, I preach, that you can heal yourself, you can heal your body, you can create the life that you want, that you have the power of the mind, the power of intention. These are things that I believe in truly and wholeheartedly. And I kind of was shaming myself for not being able to do it myself. But then I kind of had like a little bit of a aha moment, and being that me allowing myself to be a prisoner in my own body is also taking away from, potential opportunities that I could be creating for myself. I used to be active. I used to dance every day. I used to want to meet men and fall in love and have like a full life in that sense. Full meaning like, mother, father, children, dog. I don't know if I want a white picket fence, but you know the drill. But with the fibroids, I didn't feel like that was going to be a possibility. And so there's a saying, you got to see it to believe it. And I always felt that the saying was more that you have to believe it to see it. And in this case, that I feel like I've done the work on the inside, and now I have to see it to believe it, because they're so big that I can't see that it's possible right now. So I'm basically going to Marie Kondo my body and see if letting these fibroids go, I can actually get my body back and get my life back on track and start living fully. If you know anything about the chakras, the second chakra, that's like your power center. That is like your power creative center, where it's where you create money, you create life, like everything that begins like from here, from your core, from your second chakra. And my second chakra has like 5, massive balls of like kind of like muscle like tissue that is preventing anything else from growing. There's no space for anything else to grow, to flourish, to be stimulated there. It's just kind of like, it's full. And so I decided to have the surgery. So I have been prepping my body for the last, 2 weeks for surgery. Because my hemoglobin is so low, I need to get it up to 120 before I can actually have the surgery. So today I went and I got iron. So I did like 2-hour iron infusion. I have to do 2 more, one next week and the week after. I've also had to get more blood taken to check my ferritin levels. And obviously I want to, exercise as much as I can, just so I can have my body in the best condition so it will heal the fastest. And it's supposed to be a 4 to 6 week recovery. So that is where I'm at. I've actually I feel so excited that I'm gonna stop punishing myself for not being able to heal these fibroids effectively, and I'm gonna allow Western medicine to help me get my body into a state where I can be more creative again. I can, flourish again, as opposed to, feeling the shame of not being, able to heal myself naturally. So that's all I have to share with you today. I'll keep on sharing with you my journey as we go from here till then. I'm supposed to have the surgery next week, but because my hemoglobin levels are still low, it's going to be postponed for at least another couple of weeks. So I'll let you know as we go along. And if you have any questions for me, let me know. Some things that I've been taking to help me, get as much iron as possible. Obviously, you want to have like your deep leafy greens. So kale and spinach are really great for, for iron. Beans, if I didn't say beans. Blackstrap molasses is really good for iron. I just been eating everything iron full. I've been taking some supplements. So Floravit is like a natural or like a vegetarian supplement that I take every day. It actually tastes pretty good. Some people doesn't think it tastes good, but I think it tastes quite good. I've been taking that daily, which has been helping a lot. And what else have I been taking? I used to take DIM and stuff like that before, which helps like with getting all your hormones intact. But now that I'm just focusing on getting my body prepped for surgery, I'm just kind of been focusing on just like iron. Also, the doctor wanted me to get into a state of menopause by having a Lupron injection. So about 2 weeks ago, I had a Lupron injection. So the needle was like this big, and they like stuck it in my butt. And then I took like 5 pills, like 1 pill every day from when I started the injection. So it's supposed to put your body in the state of menopause. And this is actually one of the ways to treat fibroids. And I also just didn't really feel comfortable with that. Like I don't take birth control pills or barely even aspirins, because I just don't really like taking any unnatural substances. But to prep myself from surgery, because she didn't want me to have my period, I went through with this Lupron injection. And lo and behold, I still got my period anyways. So I don't know what that did, but maybe just made me have like a bit of a glow from like a heat flash. I don't know. So that's something that might be suggested to you by your doctor. Also, other alternative forms of treatment that were suggested to me is something that you put, I don't know the terminology exactly, but like it's like plastics in the blood that's going to stop the blood flow to the fibroids. That would make them basically die and then shrink and eventually expel. I obviously didn't feel comfortable with that either. So I'm going to have a myomectomy. It's going to the surgery is going to be around 2 to 3 hours, and the recovery time is usually about 4 to 6 weeks. So I'm going to do it, and my healing journey will begin after, because I know I've done all the inner work, that they're not going to come back, and I'll be able to have my body back. So I wanted to share all that with you. It's totally a 20-minute ramble of me and my final fibroid journey up until now, but I really want to live to my full potential, and if right now these fibroids are preventing me from that, I want to give myself the best opportunity to live my best life yet. So it's starting, and I hope that this has been informative and will help somebody know that they're not alone, and that there's other people that are dealing with the same things that they're dealing with. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you're having a great, great day. Love and light. Bye.